What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Andrew. I got Brandon here with me, like always.
What's up?
And thank you for checking out our views from the sidelines. Oh, I'm kind of tired. You okay with everybody?
This thing's smacking, boy.
That's what we like over there.
Oh, God.
Beverages. But we got a different show for today. So I know lately we've been going on about stuff about the NFL, NBA trades, and free agency, and let's kind of take a step back and let's get into some little sports conspiracies, like kind of like there we go, little sports conspiracies. What could have happened? What should have happened? Type of deals.
Who shot Derek Jeter?
Yep. What?
Well, you never seen the other guys?
Oh, no.
You shot Derek Jeter. You cost me money on that game. You ever seen that shit?
No, I have
Oh
not.
my God, you're horrible. You shouldn't have a podcast.
What a guy.
That's sports related.
Why are you so angry with me?
This dictionary roulette, whatever the fuck this is, got me feeling angry.
Jesus Christ.
We're like Kanye without my mask on.
But, you okay, buddy?
Yeah, I'll survive.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into this. Let's have some fun with this today. See if we get this a little lighthearted and stuff. But go ahead and tell me the first one, and we'll go from there. Buddy.
2001 divisional playoff game, tuck rule game.
Tuck rule game. Quote unquote tuck rule game. All right. So this game is against the Oakland Raiders and the New England Patriots, right? It's an iconic game for Brady. So New England ends up winning this game. I'm kind of going to go from the ending to the beginning, right? So New England ends up winning this game 16-13, right, in overtime. But the problem with this game is there's a rule in this. You're a little distracting there, sir. There's a rule that Tom Brady ended up doing, or there's a play sequence in there where he is about to get sacked, and as he's about to throw the ball, and as he's getting hit, he tucks the ball back inside to protect it, but at the same time he's fumbling it. Right? So he ends up fumbling.
Mm-hmm.
But then what else happened? So Raiders end up getting the ball. What would have happened is Raiders would have won, and they would have went off to they would have played in the AFC Championship game and possibly even go in the Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
And I think they would have ended up playing Pittsburgh that game. Mm-hmm. And I believe Pittsburgh would have beat them. I think the Raiders would have beat Pittsburgh and then kind of go from there. But the thing about this game is it's kind of like they ended up changing the rule kind of mid-game. And it's weird because the move when you watch it real time and like the highlights of it, mm-hmm. It looks like a straight fumble.
Yeah.
Because what they end up calling is a forward pass. He was throwing the ball. He was like in the throwing motion. But you could legit see that he is tucking this ball.
Oh, okay.
He is going from arm motion forward to, oh shit, I'm getting hit. Let me bring this ball back. Mm-hmm. And that motion cancels out the throw. Because no one throws like this.
Yeah.
Like throwing your arm down. No one throws like that. So the problem with it is kind of like you cheated out the Raiders, who played an excellent game, right? It was a low-scoring game. It was only 13-16, obviously. They ended up losing. But, you cheated them out of this game. And honestly, I don't think New England deserved to win that game. Because they kind of made some mistakes going down in the end. And just didn't deserve to play, but they ended up getting a break. But that's just how I kind of feel about it. I mean, I'm not a Raider fan at all. But, that's just kind of like what it is for me. What's the next
one, bro? We have is Jordan's first retirement, 93 and part of 94. That's a conspiracy?
It's kind of so the conspiracy itself, not the actual retirement. Actually, there is a conspiracy around the retirement on the reason why.
Kind of like how Brady's was?
No, not in that sense, but I wasn't really going to touch that part, but we can. The conspiracy on that part is the fact that he had gambling debts, and the NBA kind of forced him out because of that.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of like the thing. But the true reason why I really want to touch it is the team itself and the conspiracy of if he would have kept playing, he would have won 8 straight.
And they didn't want that?
And I don't think that would have ever happened. So like the year before he retired.
You think he would have gotten to 8?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he would have got to 8 because I'm gonna tell you. So the year before that they got to 57. So I mean the year before in 92, 93, right, when he won his third championship, they went 57 and 25. Right. The year after that, they ended up going. They still went. They only lost 2 games more. So they went 55 and 27. So it's just like that team was so great. But then I don't think Jordan makes that much of a difference on that team then. He just obviously in clutch situations, he is the guy to go to on that team. But you're talking about going through a young Shaq and Penny team in Orlando in 92, 93. They were on the rise. I believe in 93, they ended up making their first finals together.
Okay.
So, no, I'm sorry, 1993. They ended up going in 93, 94 season, but they were still on the rise. They were still there. They're the young, hungry team. And then also you still had Patrick Ewing there. He was still playing at top of his level with New York. Top of my head right now. I mean, you still have Indiana Pacers there. They're still battling, trying to get to a spot. But with this Houston's team, and that's the other team that I think that they would have never beat with those two. Because in that void, you have the Houston Rockets winning those 2, right? And I don't think those Bulls teams match up great against them, meaning they have Akeem Olajuwon on the Rockets surrounded by a bunch of shooters.
Okay.
And Hakeem Olajuwon is that dude. He could go eye to eye with Jordan. That's me personally. I believe they came out of the same draft. Yeah, they came out of the same draft. He was a number 1 overall pick. And I just feel like in my heart of hearts, I don't think that Bulls team would have beat that Rockets team. So Jordan would have sat with 6 and 2 if he would have never retired.
Yeah.
Just personally, I just don't like Jordan. Jordan's great. Like I'm not gonna, tell you guys where I have him at in my top 50, but he is in my top 3. He may be number 1. He may be number 3. Maybe number 2. I don't know. Who knows? But I don't think he's that much of a big difference at that point in time. I think the Rockets are just that big of a team. So I don't think he's going to win 8 straight. But he did have gambling debts he needed to deal with. So, I kind of believe the whole NBA getting him out.
Yeah.
But
this looks bad for him.
Right. But, no.
How did they even play without him, though?
Huh?
How did they play without him?
So without him, they actually didn't play so bad. So obviously, it was a Scottie Pippen led team, right? He was the guy. Even though in that year, he had some he kind of gave up on the team.
Scottie Pippen?
Yeah, so he kind of gave up on the team a little bit. There's a couple of plays where Phil Jackson called a play for another player, but he kind of felt disrespected, meaning this is kind of my team right now.
Yeah.
I'm the veteran. I've been here, the first 3 championships. Like, you won't give me this shot to end the game or to close the game or anything like that. But in that year, like, he wasn't that bad. Like, oh my God. What a guy. What a guy, Joey. That comes out on my podcast, I swear.
That's like perfect timing.
Hang on, real quick. This is my TED Talk. The audacity of these people in this kitchen right now, just making all these noise. Tried to do a podcast and they just hate me. Everybody in this house just hates me. And, but it is what it is, I guess. All right, back to our regularly scheduled program. Oh God. But so Scottie Pippen, his team went 55-27. They weren't a terrible team. I believe they were a call away to actually go to the finals. There was a bad call made by in the Eastern Conference Finals. There was a bad call that was made, and I feel like if that call was never made, I think the Bulls would have went to the finals without Jordan.
Okay.
So that's how good that team was. Good. That team was good, and Jordan would have kind of made it that better. But I don't think they would have beat. I still just don't think Houston would have lost. I just don't.
Oh, okay.
Like Houston would have won those two, and then we just go from there. Oh,
Let's go to the other one, buddy.
What's next?
The NBA vetoes Chris Paul's trade.
Oh God! All right, this is a doozy. I need a sip.
I need a sip.
I need a sip for this one.
I want tacos.
Tacos do sound good right now. I ain't go front. I might have to go get some. My son Daniel. He's our runner.
Yeah, right now he is.
Oh God! All right, so Chris Paul trade. All right, in 2011, there was a trade for. Obviously, it was a trade. This is the biggest trade of the year.
Was that this year?
No, 2011.
2011. Okay.
2011. Kobe was still in the Lakers. Rest in peace,
Kobe.
And so this was going to be the super team to match Miami's.
Okay.
So what you're talking about is in 2011 is you're talking about a Kobe Chris Paul pairing. You're talking about the Chris Paul that just left New Orleans.
CP3 boys.
Yes, CP3 at that time was a totally different.
Do the math. CP3 times 8 equals 24.
What a guy! Congratulations, sir. Good job, dude.
Now we pardon.
Yeah, we're potty. This is
Now
how
we
we do
potty.
it. We're into this one. I love it.
It's the dictionary roulette.
I'm about to get you more.
What a guy.
Oh man, but so Chris Paul at that time, he was one of the best point guards. He was actually the best point guard in the league. Scoring 20 some points a game, averaging about 10 assists a game. I mean, this guy was a masterpiece on the floor. And you're talking about pairing him up with Kobe, who just got off a finals run in 2011, would have been the best team that Kobe's played with, right? Besides Shaq. And before I get to the NBA actually vetoing it, I want to just let you guys know about who was actually in this deal, right? So obviously the Lakers get Chris Paul, right? Mm-hmm. The Hornets. So it was a 3-team trade. So there's 2 other teams involved with the Lakers. So the Hornets, obviously, the way they would have gotten Odom, they would have got Lamar Odom. They would have gotten Kevin Martin, Luis Scola, and Gordon Dragic, all from the Rockets, right? And then the Rockets would have just got Pau Gasol. So obviously you're trading off Pau Gasol. You're trading off Lamar Odom, who was both of them. They were big runs for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Trying to get to the finals and winning the finals in 2010. And but you trade off both of those key pieces and just go get Chris Paul.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
Right? Like Kobe and Chris Paul, that would have been amazing. But the backstory on this is the Hornets were actually controlled and owned, quote unquote, owned by the commissioner of the NBA, by David Stern. Because that owner at the time was in the middle of selling the team. And he sold the team, but they were waiting for it to be finalized. At the same time this trade happened. Oh, okay. So there was no one at the helm to kind of actually run this trade. So David Stern, who was the commissioner at the time, rest in peace, David Stern, he actually took control of that team for that regular offseason. And he vetoed the trade because of the fact that he thought the Hornets would have been too good.
They didn't want to get rid of him. They didn't want him to be too good when he's getting rid of him.
Right.
What a dick.
Right. It would have been too good. Meaning they thought the Hornets were going to be this, juggernaut team coming up, especially with Lamar Odom, who hasn't hit crack yet. Kevin Martin, who is still a great shooter at the time. Luis Scola. I don't even think he's a good role player. I'll give you that. He's not some superstar, but he's a good role player, decent player. And Gordon Dragic is a very good point guard.
Okay.
He is a true point guard. But he could score, especially at that time. He was still young.
Mm-hmm.
He gets to the bucket, he could score. But even then, I don't think that team would have been that great. I mean, Chris Paul's team around him, he had David West around him. I mean, there was no one else. That's the only player I could honestly think of on that team. That team wasn't really good, but he just dragged that team far in the playoffs, right? But obviously, we all know that trade gets vetoed, and then he ends up still going to L.A., but to the Clippers. And that's where the whole, Lob City happens with Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. Then you get J.J. Redick there. Then you get Matt Barnes. Lamar Odom still ends up going over there. I mean, it's a whole.
What would his legacy look like, though, if he went over there? Oh, my God. He would have probably been in, like, top 5, top 3, maybe, you think?
Chris Paul, I probably would have had to put him at least top 10. Top 10 for sure all time. And he probably would have been the best point guard ever.
That would have been nuts, dude.
Like, I mean, it's hard to say that because I'm going against Magic, right? Because Magic everybody says Magic's the best point guard, especially with him being at 6'8" with 5 rings. It's hard to top that. But I just feel like Kobe and Chris Paul, they would have got at least 3.
I think he would have felt since he won the battle against AIDS, but he would have lost it against CP3.
God! Oh. Touche, buddy. Good job. What a guy. We're potty today, boys. Oh, my God. But I don't know. I think I probably would have put him number 2. He would have beat out Isaiah Thomas. He would have beat out John Stockton. I think he would have been the second greatest point guard to ever play if he got about 3 rings. But I think Kobe and Chris Paul, I think they would have got 3. I just think, like, you're talking about the years that he was in the Clippers and how he was playing. He was playing great. Just imagine him playing like that with Kobe.
That would have been nuts.
That would have been a whole different thing.
It would have been nuts.
Yeah, it would have been. Oh, God, I just don't know. I'm kind of sad about that, but
yeah, we'll never know now.
Yeah, we never know. But those are my little conspiracies. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed them. If you guys want to do more of this, let us know. We'll probably do some more. This is kind of fun. This is like the most Brandon's actually been involved.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the dictionary roulette. I'm about to get him more.
Yeah, those are fire.
Yeah, we're gonna need to get him more. But
shout out to the homegirl Jenny.
To the homegirl Jenny. Good job, buddy. What a gal.
All right, now we're gonna finish up
Finish up.
Touch up on the top 50, buddy.
All right. So, I want to give a quick shout out to Alex Duran.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, DUI King.
Yeah.
And the king of the short kings.
Talk about getting rings. My man's got a mad DUI rings.
What a guy. He's a back-to-back champ.
Yeah, that guy's a trooper.
He honestly is. Like,
he's the Kobe at the local.
Like, dude, like he got a DUI, and like, as soon as he got done paying all that, he got another one. What a guy. I had a very long conversation with him about these next 2 players, right? And he kind of made a point, especially about the first one that we're about to say.
Number 38, we have Tracy McGrady.
So, Alex's point. So, let me go over his things real quick. So, again, his points per average don't really... He's not playing right now, obviously, but he played a couple years, like, kind of riding the bench on a couple teams. So, they kind of hurt his points per game average. So, for his career, I guess, he averaged about 19 points a game, 5 rebounds a game, 4 assists on about 43% shooting. But I don't consider that his actual season, really, or his averages per se. Because you're talking about a dude who was, it's a comparison to Kobe.
Yeah.
At that time, right? So, like, his years, I'm going to give you his best year, right? Which was in Orlando, right? He spent about 4 seasons in Orlando. Excuse me. Can't talk today. So, he spent about 4 seasons in Orlando. and this dude was averaging 28,
Okay.
going nuts,
Yeah.
right? And then he had a string of games where this dude was just annihilating player teams. Like him and Kobe, like this is when I was saying kind of like I think I touched it, but him and Kobe going back and forth, dropping 50, 50, 45, 45, 47, 47. Like him and Kobe were in going back and forth, dropping these numbers and getting wins. Like this dude, Tracy McGrady, he's a good regular season winner, right? And I say that because his playoff resume isn't great. So when he was in Orlando, he was up 3-1, waiting to get into the next round. And this is another, I don't blame it all on him. I blame it a little bit on his coach at the time, which was Doc Rivers. But he ends up blowing a 3-1 lead and then losing the series. Right? So T-Mac's kind of like in the same ballpark as Russell Westbrook, James Harden, who are these prolific scorers, prolific athletes, and just great basketball players, but just aren't known for winning. It's like you're not going to put winning and Tracy McGrady in the same conversation.
Yeah.
But the thing with Alex is when I was talking to him about this guy, he was so adamant about the impact that he had on the league. And it had me thinking about him. And he was Kobe, but bigger. Right? So Kobe was about 6'6", 210.
Or even just like physically
Just
bigger?
physically bigger. But I'm not saying status-wise because Kobe is...
Hold on, buddy.
Yeah, Kobe is Kobe, right?
I'll slap you with
But
a
I'm talking about
jersey
like
on.
T-Mac was about 6'7", 6'8", shooting guard, just big.
That's average, dude.
Big dude, 230, 235. Like that dude was like, and Kobe even said it himself. He was just like the toughest guy for him to guard was Tracy McGrady because he was big, because he could do everything Kobe could do, but just being bigger. So it's like, imagine that hitting you in your chest as you're trying to back him down and stuff. It's just, you're not going to do that all the time. So going back and forth with Alex, because I wasn't going to put him on my list. I just wasn't. But he kind of gave me a decent point on the fact that I have...
He bribed you, shut your ass up.
He didn't bribe me.
Probably bought you a 3-pack and you said, okay.
Hell, he owed me some dew, first off. All right?
Mountain Dew?
Some Mountain Dew. We bet Mountain Dew. All right? He bets me to do. You owe me some dew, sir.
Dude, we never have Mountain Dew in the house. We need to buy some.
Yeah, we got Pepsi in the house, though.
Yeah, we know. I saw one.
I know you did. You asked me first.
I want Pepsi.
I needed a sip.
What a guy.
But yeah, he gave me a good pitch about the fact that I had Russell Westbrook and James Harden on this list, and neither one of them are known for winning, right? Like, both of them flame out. Yet, if you put them talent to talent, I don't think they're, like, look at it now, I don't know if they're better than Tracy McGrady. I don't. Like, I had to take away the winning aspect of this because of what I've had this list at. And I had to kind of look at it like player for player. And if you put these three lined up and you ask me to choose one, I'm going Tracy McGrady because I think he's going to give me the better chance to win. Because, he has scored 13 points in 3 seconds. And this dude he's just that guy.
Yeah.
So I got Tracy McGrady at 38. Or, no, not 38, 37?
No, 38.
38? Okay. I got Tracy McGrady at 38. This next guy, he...
Plays everything.
This guy just... I don't know why I have this guy on my list. But
Really?
I don't know. But there's a reason why, and I'll tell you right now. Hang on. For Tracy McGrady, I did not give you his accolades, and I forgot, and I'm sorry for that. He's a 7-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA player. He's a 2-time scoring champ. And he's the 2000-2001 most improved player. And because he came off of horrific injury on his knee, and he came back, and I believe he dropped like 32.
What a guy.
Yeah, so he was dropping like 32 points in that season. So I mean, he's that guy.
American hero.
True American hero. He was second place runner up to the MVP that Kobe won.
Oh, yeah,
And,
Kobe.
You could have gave it to T Mac though, because for what T Mac had around him compared to what Kobe had around him, that was the only reason. So we'll see. But we go to the next one, and there's a reason why he's on this list, and I'll tell you why. I don't think he should, but I have to respect it.
37, we have Steve Nash.
I love the voice.
I should do that. Commentator shit.
Steve Nash. Auto tune your voice out.
Don't tell me I will. I'll auto tune this whole podcast.
Don't do that. People like my voice, all right?
Auto tune it.
What a guy. All right, Steve Nash.
D Payne.
Stephen John Nash.
You gonna just skip over the D Payne?
The D Payne. I'm D Payne now?
Yeah.
Kanye West and D Payne.
Bro, smash.
What a guy. Holy God. All right. So Steve Nash. All right. So I'm going to go over his accolades real quick. He's a Hall of Famer. Oh, T-Mac is...
Was he Hall of Famer?
T-Mac is in the Hall of Fame as well.
Okay.
Sorry. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, you like Steve Nash. That dude's cool.
All right, dude. I'll tell you right now.
He plays soccer, too.
I'll tell you right now.
I feel like he fights kangaroos.
Can I explain it why?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. All right. He's a Hall of Famer, 8-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA player. He's part of the NBA top 75 anniversary team. And it's a damn shame that Tracy McGrady is on that team. It's a damn shame. Damn shame. All right. It's a 5-time assist champ and a 2-time MVP. That's the reason why I have him on the list. He is a 2-time MVP. And there's no way I could disrespect that.
You can't.
Right. So he's averaged about 14 points a game, which is kind of like not fair to him because there's times in his career where he was balling out, going for 23, 24 a night. But he spent the later half of his career kind of like injured a lot on the bench. He was older. Like he was just hurt. But 14 points a game, 3 rebounds a game, 8 assists a game on 49% shooting, which isn't terrible, especially for a point guard, a true point guard like him. So he spent in the bulk of his career in Phoenix. When you talk about that Phoenix team is like the perfect situation for him.
Yeah.
Because you had you had this revolutionary offense that Mike D'Antoni came up with him, which is like a 7 seconds or less. Like you're scoring the ball in 7 seconds or less. So meaning for a downhill point guard like Steve Nash is, especially with a pass first mindset, you're going to be able to rack up triple doubles, like 20 points easy, 10 assists really easy, great looks because of the fact of how fast and efficient this offense is, right? And I feel like those were his best years. And these are the 2 years that he actually won his MVP.
Was he with the Suns?
The Suns. The Phoenix Suns first for 10 seasons, and then for 6 seasons he was with Dallas. And then the final 2 seasons he was with LA.
He's retired. Isn't he a coach now?
Yes, he is actually the coach of the Nets.
He's a hero.
He's actually trash as a coach, but that's not my problem. I needed a sip. What are you looking at me like that for?
Respect Steve Nash, bro.
Whatever, dude. You don't even know his
American
name.
icon.
I don't even think he's American.
Doesn't matter. He's still an American icon.
I don't even think he's American, bro.
He fights kangaroos.
What?
He fights kangaroos.
Shut up.
And he plays soccer.
I heard about that. He is actually a decent.
He's phenomenal. He could have played for like MLS if he wanted to.
Seriously?
Dude, have you watched MLS? I'm better than MLS.
No, you're not.
They're all
Dude.
trash, dude.
No, you're not, dude.
That's for all the rejects from anywhere else.
Dude, you make it to the MLS right now, dude. Like I do whatever you want.
Dude, I'll make it to the MLS.
Don't do
I promise you.
Oh my God. All right. So Steve Nash, right? Back to our regular scheduled program. The reason why I have Steve Nash on this list is only because of the MVPs. But personally, I don't think he deserved both of them. Maybe one, but not both. Because one of the years he beat out Shaq in Miami, and Miami Shaq was the first year in Miami. That Shaq was great. He could have won MVP, and he just stole the MVP. They love Nash for some reason, and they stole it.
In work.
No, dude, it's the offense. I personally believe that if he wasn't with Phoenix to start off, he wouldn't have this career that he has right now. I just don't think so. I believe his. Oh my God, he irritates me, sir.
Grind your gears.
Huh?
Grind your gears.
Grinds my gears. Like Steve Nash, the Steve Nash like love that he gets as a player, I don't see it. Just because of the fact that if it wasn't for Mike D'Antoni, he wouldn't be this player. That's what I truly feel about it. Because he's not the greatest. So he could shoot the ball. He's kind of like a newer John Stockton, right? Mm-hmm. That was his comparison.
Yeah.
Because John Stockton and Steve Nash kind of did the same things. They were great in the pick and roll, right? Especially John Stockton, Karl Malone, who will be on this list a little later. You had both of them doing the pick and roll. Same thing for Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire. You still had the pick and roll going. They were actually decent shooters if you force them to shoot, right? So if you go under a screen, they're just gonna pop out and hit it. Mm-hmm. And they can also attack the ball, and they're actually pretty good. They're not good defenders, but they're good. They could poke the ball out. They could read passing lanes. Like they're very good at just being disruptive on the court. And so I think that's what the media and a lot of people saw because they loved John Stockton. And they saw a lot of John Stockton in Steve Nash. So they thought that he would be the next John Stockton. But personally, I just think that it was only because of the system that he was in. If he went anywhere else, and it kind of showed that he went to Dallas, and Dallas didn't really work out, even though he had Dirk. He had Dirk Nowitzki there. He still had a great team in Dallas, but they didn't really go anywhere. I believe they went to a finals run. Did they make it to the finals? Actually, no. Nash never went to a finals. I forgot about that. So he never seen a finals. I don't even think he's seen a Western Conference Finals. Actually, no, he did see a Western Conference Finals. But I believe he lost. And it's just, I don't believe in the hype, but I have to respect where he's at. Because all in all, he made the best of what his situation was. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, he was in the best system for him, so he took advantage of that system and did exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah.
Which got him 2 MVPs and got him into the Hall of Fame. So, personally, with Steve Nash, it's not my favorite. Like, if you lined up Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, and Gary Payton, mm-hmm. and you had to pick between those 3, he's going to get picked last. That's just me personally. But he is the 37th. Or 36. Right. He is my 36th player of all time.
37, fool.
37? I that's why I said it twice, because I didn't know.
37.
I was waiting for you to fix it. I was waiting for you to fix it. God damn it, dude. Shut up. We got to be on the same page, buddy.
This is your list.
Shut up, dude. I've done, you know how many people that are in my head right now? I almost called them the wrong name. All right, but those are 38 and 37. Yeah, 38, 37?
Yeah.
Okay. So those are 38, 37. I've actually had some feedback on the list.
That you're trash.
Shut up. And some people like it, some people don't. They didn't like my Dwight Howard placement. They don't think he should be on the list. And to that I say, you don't have to listen. But personally, obviously with Dwight Howard, I feel like he needs to be on this list because he is a big part of this NBA storyline. And yeah, I mean that's just how I feel. Anything else? Any questions, comments, concerns from you, buddy?
Nah, I'm good.
I wonder if I got any questions. Moving tempo forward as I. Yep, do that for me. Anything on these? Nope, nothing. All right. No one loves us. Actually, I didn't even check the question thing. I'm an idiot. Don't mind us. Brandon entertained them for a bit. All right, good job. Good job entertaining. I know you don't. Oh, we do. Oh, we have some questions. Okay.
There you go.
Someone asked, how old am I? It's not really the question I wanted, but I'm 27. Brandon, how old are you? 28?
17 and a half.
Okay, 28. All right. Alex actually asked a question.
I hate Alex sometimes.
Yes, top 5 teams to never win an NBA championship. Off the top of my head.
Whatever the Sandlot team was.
Huh?
Whatever the Sandlot team was.
NBA fool.
Oh. Never mind. That was in general.
You know, I picked the right guy to help me with sports topics.
Sandlot is sports.
Yeah, what the wrong sport, buddy.
He didn't say it was NBA specifically, did he?
Top 5 teams to never win an NBA championship.
Oh. I digress.
Tell me. Top 5 teams to never win. I think the 2001, 2002 Sacramento Kings. I put them at number 5.
That sounds like a hockey team.
Technically, they kind of sound like one, right? But the Sacramento Kings with Chris Webber, Mike Bibby, what was on that team? White Chocolate,
What a guy.
Jason Williams.
I'll call myself that now.
I believe Tucker Lou was on that team as well. So I put them at number 5. The 93 Orlando team, I put them at number 4. And that's the young Shaq, young Penny team. I felt like if they would have won game 1, and yeah, because Nick Anderson, he blew 4 clutch free throws.
Mm-hmm.
He just missed all 4 of them. And they only needed 1 to kind of secure the win. And, yeah, I mean, I just think that they would have won that series if they just won game 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that's number 2. Number 3 for me. It's tough. I think number 3, I think I'm going to have to give it to Charles Barkley's Suns team. And it's not really just because of the fact of anybody else on that team. And they had some defensive players on the team. I mean, they had Kevin Johnson. They had Hornacek, I believe, was on that team. Hornacek? Was it Hornacek? I believe it was Hornacek. I believe he was on that team. He was older though, but he was still on that team. Or Danny Ainge. Sorry, excuse me. Danny Ainge was on that team. But Charles Barkley's playoff run that entire way was just magnificent. Like, he dragged that Suns team to the finals and got 2 games off of Jordan. And a lot of people couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And he did it by himself. Like, legitly.
What team was Lil Bow Wow in that movie?
It was the Unreal team.
That one or Coach Carter's team?
No. First off, they both won championships at the end.
Did they?
Yeah, dude.
Well, I got it wrong.
It one's a high school team.
Well, still.
Jesus Christ. All right, what is this, number 3? I got 2 more.
You're on 5. That was already number 4, I think.
No, yeah, that was 3. I'm on 3 now.
No, you just did 3, didn't you?
No.
Oh, well.
I'm going 5 to 3. I'm going 5 to top. I did Suns. I did the Kings, the Suns.
And then Charles Barkley.
That was the Suns.
Oh.
The Suns teams. And I did Shaq's Orlando team.
Yeah, so you're on 2.
Yeah, I'm on 2. I think the Supersonics team with Gary Payton. I think about 94 95 Sonics team. With Gary Payne, Sean Kemp, Delepter Shrimp. Who was on the team? I forgot though. Duckworth? I think Duckworth was on this team.
It's a Kendrick song.
Duckworth?
Yeah.
I guess. No. There's a guy named Duckworth.
Wow.
But I believe that team could have caused Jordan some problems as well. And but number one team not to win a finals.
If it involves LeBron, I'm turning it off.
No, it's not LeBron's team. Because it's kind of tough because I just don't. The Utah team, the 97 Utah team, which John Stockton and Karl Malone. I'll put them at number one. I think that team was so well put together, and that offensive system that they had was just so efficient that they just couldn't get the win against Jordan. I mean, obviously they ran into Jordan, but I just think that's like one of the greatest team to not win a championship. Mm-hmm. So that's my list. John Stockton, Karl Malone, Utah Jazz. Number 2, I got Gary Payton's Supersonics. Number 3, Charles Barkley's Suns. Number 4, Shaq and Penny's Magic. And then number 5, Chris Webber's Sacramento Kings team. And that's it. That's all for the questions that we got for today. I want to thank everybody for sending in questions. And Brandon, thank you for joining me and helping me out all the time.
Swag.
Even though it's taken away from your DJ time.
Swag.
There's a party here for the Dilfs.
Oh, we about to get lit, boy.
On this Saturday. And if you guys listen to the end of the podcast, you'll know, but I'm not going to say the surprise, so you guys just have to listen to it.
To the Dills podcast.
The Dilf podcast, not mine. It's not my party. The Views don't have a party because, we suck. And I'm not that big yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But I want to appreciate everybody listening in, though, giving us the views, giving us the shout-outs, and subscribers on YouTube. I really, really appreciate it. Go ahead and keep subscribing, keep sharing us. Go follow the Twitter page at DilfViews. And really do appreciate it. And we will see you guys next week. And we are out of here.
Later.